Welcome, reading one. Welcome to this pick a reading titled The Decision. Oh, I just heard the Truth Maker. That's interesting. So, in our wonderful book of tarot spreads, I was called to work with the Witch's Tarot and to work on this 3-card spread. It's called The Decision. And the first card is the situation. The second card is the task. And the third card is the decision. So let's shuffle the cards right now and see what comes through. How are you guys doing? I felt a lot of anxiety. I felt a lot of stress before this started. So, anxiety means that you're concerned and worried about the future. This is a really good time to put spirit in your hands, meaning how normally I would say it the other way, put you in spirit's hands, but it's it's time for you to allow spirit to flow through you. Because when we go to depression, anxiety, things like that, it's like we know that that's not real. It's part of the third dimensional experience. We need our ego to survive, but any type of fear-based energy is an energy of control. And because we were programmed to believe we needed to be in control, be, cool as cucumbers, we need to be everything and, all things, it can be very stressful. It can be, really difficult. So I feel like for you guys, I started to shuffle and I just kind of got this vibe, and this is a message from Spirit. Meditation and getting outside. They've been saying this a lot to us. In real time, today is September 4th, 2025, which is also the number 13, which is the number 4. So I feel like it's time for you to make certain decisions so that you can really lay a strong, solid foundation. And like myself, while my eyes were closed, I just got a vision for myself. So I feel like, maybe some of you guys did too. Okay. So remember that this situation is going to be different for each of you. So I'll do my best to give you the guidance, but remember, don't make something your story if it's not your story. Okay. So this is card 1. The situation. This is card 2, which is interesting because this feather really wanted to come in. So I don't know what kind of bird it came from, but it's a dark feather. I'm going to leave it there until, and then this is, okay, so I'm not sure if the deck was kind of, upside down. Ow. That is flame. Sometimes I always say it's my triple fire Sag and my they're Deacons and Leo. I have so much fire around me. I love being around fire that it literally, I can just be next to or like that for a long time before I'm like, oh wait, that's burning my flesh. Anyway, wow, look at this. So let me see if they want to pull any more cards or they want to shuffle any more. It's kind of interesting too, because I didn't really shuffle that much. But I did shuffle the last time I used it. And sometimes I'll just shuffle cards while I'm thinking and I don't realize it. But also this deck, it kind of cards flew on the floor, things, it started flipping itself around. This deck has a lot of power. It's by Ellen Dugan. She's one of my favorite witches of all time. And I just love, love, love her. This is the book. The book isn't the same as the cover, which is kind of weird to me, but look for anything from Ellen Dugan, especially if you're in your baby witch, she really knows her stuff, man. Seriously, let's put it this way. I know why Spirit put her in my path. So, let's just get to this. I'm feeling your anxiety, but I want you to know that you're not alone. We're going to get through this together. And Spirit always has me read the upright and the reverse if they, if, in something like this, I like to read it all. because there's many of you and your situations are going to be different. So I want to give you as broad of a perspective as possible. Okay. So for the first card is the situation. Now remember that 3 is in the middle. Okay. So it's going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I don't know why, but like this little mushroom is significant to somebody. It really wanted to be there, even though there are other mushrooms that are in there. That one right there, and I don't know what stone that is, but so I feel like because it specifically wanted to be there, I feel like there might be a tie-in to the situation. And mushrooms can mean many things. You know, maybe you like to harvest, maybe you like to mushroom hunt, you love to cook. I mean, it could be something like that. It could be that maybe you're meant to microdose. And if I felt a lot of anxiety from this reading before I started, and it was so heavy that it makes me feel it's very collective. But also, you know, anxiety happens sometimes when, you know that you like, you just see a reading and you're like, your message is in there. So I'm getting, for some of you, the anxiety might be that you're just not ready, to let go of certain things yet. But Spirit's like, you'll know when you know when you know. You know what I mean? So just try and breathe if you can. And also, if you're capable to do so, let's all close our eyes. If you're driving, obviously keep your eyes on the road or pull over. But take in some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, open mouth, so that we can breathe in the healing energy, the white light energy, of the loving healing energy, the knowledge energy from Spirit, and then also pushing out that which no longer serves us, but also even more deeper than that, like that which no longer like holds us down. Okay. And think about the situation. You may be in more than one situation. You'll know as the reading goes, but I'm hearing from Spirit to concentrate right now and think about what situation that you need to make a decision on right now. Is there something in your life that is stagnant? Is there something, do you need to change careers? Do you need to change, home, friends, significant others, whatever it is, family? What's the situation that you have been feeling needs to make a decision? And for some of you, you may not know. You may be stagnant right now, but you're not sure. And if you were pulled to this reading, then most likely the situation will reveal itself as we read the cards. Okay? So let's do that. I'm also invoking the power of Reiki healing energy into my mind, body, and soul. And if you would like to receive this Reiki, all you have to say is, I receive this healing energy with grace and gratitude. And so it is. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for balancing and healing our chakras and clearing our chakras and our auric field of that which no longer serves our greatest and highest good. We welcome in the energy from the Creator and filter down to where we are in this time and place, and all energies and entities in between that have some guidance and love messages for us today. In real time, we are in the shadow energy of eclipse season, and we are impending on the full moon lunar eclipse in just a few days. So whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but Spirit wanted me to bring that up for some of you, because I feel like in this full moon energy, it's time to release whatever this is, this decision, and give it to the spirits. But remember that it's in your hands. Okay. The portal is open. The healing is here. I'm hearing Stacy. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. Tiffany. I'm hearing jealousy. I don't know what that means. My eyes are closed. I'm sending Reiki, but there's these messages that are coming through. I'm hearing to release and let go. These names could be anything. They could be spirit guides, they could be friends, family, but they could be specific. I mean, let's put it this way, this is about a decision, so it could be somebody linked to these, and maybe you weren't sure, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa. And it could be something like that where it's a really good friend, and you can't even imagine that you have to get rid of them. Let me tell you something. I found out the hard way that my two closest best friends, like my two closest best friends were not only conspiring behind my back, but they got really gross about it too, after things happened, and it got really mean girls. And looking back on it now, I realize like so much of it was like probably a lot of, premenopause, perimenopause. We were in our 40s, early 40s, but it's just really interesting to see like how these things, happen. So it hurts. One of them I talked to almost every day for like 22 years. They didn't even like call me or message me. It was almost like they were, but sometimes, sorry, I live on a busy highway and I have the windows open. It's still, end of summer. But sometimes spirit will reveal things to us that we need to see, because I wasn't looking for that, but I was, you know what I'm saying? Like how I found out certain things, I wasn't really looking for them. And I was really pushing into my gifts as a telepathic medium. And I think a lot of people just didn't take me seriously, that I knew that they were, I just felt it. I felt things, I knew things, but I didn't want to believe it. I had a therapist that told me that it was me, that I was the problem, that, I was thinking these negative thoughts because I hated myself. So I internalized so much shit and went through so many things. So I'm just putting this out there because there might be some of you right now that are in a really, I just heard flim flam. Oh, hi mom. I feel like there's some spirit guides here that are like, yeah, you're in like a flim flam situation. So that needed to be said. I don't know who needed to hear that, but flim flam, that is so interesting. I'm like flim flam. I'm like, what is that? That's like kind of interesting. Okay, so let's get to the situation. Card number 1. I already saw them when I was shuffling them because I had to turn them inside out. So inside out. Oh my gosh, I feel like that's for somebody. Also, I do have a light, and I asked them if they wanted me to use it, and they said no, not right now. I'm like, okay. So this is the King of Pentacles, but in reverse. So I'm hearing for some of you, maybe your situation is you're in a financial duress. That's literally the words that I heard. Okay, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to bring just a little more light in here because I feel like that's what they want me to do. Okay, here we go. So let's go to the King of Pentacles. And when the card is in reverse, I start backwards and with the reverse energy. So I'm going to do the same for this, unless they tell me otherwise, but I don't feel that. So what's your situation? It's going to be different for everybody. Okay, King of Pentacles in reverse. A person who is brooding, stubborn, and a little controlling. Oh, I got that at the beginning. Did I not say that I felt, because anxiety is trying to control the outcome. When I looked down, it was 1330, and then it went to 1331. So 1330 is the number 7. So that might be significant to somebody, but then it was 1331, and it was 13 and mirroring itself. And I said today is a 13 number. So I feel like you're very powerful divine witches, but you're standing in your own way for materialism, losing sight of what is truly important. So also it's on page 257. And that is, so that's 714. That's the number 5. And I'm hearing you're on the precipice of change and transformation, which is why you're feeling so unnerved. And some of you, you're in a holding pattern because you keep getting in your own way. I just heard this reading to myself last night, and I got so many epiphanies, and I swear I was meant to watch that and hear that so I can share it with you. Things that we don't realize that we're trying to control, because we're like, oh, I'm just taking care of myself, or I just got to make sure that this happens, and that happens, and then everything will fall into place. And it's like, but what if we stopped? Because I'm going to put myself in it, because this is a lesson for me too. But what if we stopped? What if we pulled back? I'm getting this vibe like you're concerned about missing out on something, or if you don't work hard enough, or you don't go, like if you're not working hard enough on your goals, you're not going to make your money, but you're not making your money because you're like spinning a million plates up in the air, trying so hard to make things happen. Oh, I'm going to do this over here and I'm going to do this over here. Like I'm hearing for some of you, like, I feel like you have like multiple jobs, or you're hustling, or like you have a job, but you have a side hustle, or like you're that, ooh, when I looked down, it was 1515. I feel like that means something too. And this would actually, when I saw 1515, work with that angel number, of course, if you were drawn to it. If not, don't make it your story. But it's also 66, which is also the number 12, which is the number 3. So, when I looked up, I saw all 3 of the cards. So I feel like this is what's happening. And I'm hearing that some of you are in a situationship and you're trying too hard to like keep like, it's almost like for some of you, it's actual jobs, like you have actual jobs. And then for others of you, I feel like it's like you've taken on other people's problems and situations like your job. I just keep seeing these plates spinning in the air. I can't stop seeing it. So I'm hearing it's time to put down 1601, which is also the number 8. 8 is about infinity. They're saying like, remember that other people have a path and a purpose too. You're not here to control the outcome of everything. You're like trying to make sure you have the house, the food, the car, and all that. They're like, yeah, but right before this started, I heard Trust Fall from Pink. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to listen to Trust Fall by Pink. And if you can, in headphones or in a car or somewhere in the house where you can blast it and like listen, really listen to the words and dance around, because there's so many beautiful like analogies in there about the trust fall and like how, you know, we want to do things a certain way and the way that the outside world is right now. You know, I saw an interview with her when she spoke about that song and why she wrote it, and she said, you know, it's because we can all get really spun out about what could happen, what might happen. Also, it turned to 17, exactly 17 minutes when I looked at this, which is also the number 8. And the number 17 is really big for this tribe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. And then I saw 1711. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. I feel like, can I be honest with you? I love you and I'm so glad to be here and hold space for you. But I'm like, at the same time, I haven't felt this way in a really long time, where I just like want to like get out of this reading. Like I just want to stop. I'm like, oh my gosh, it just started. But I feel like that's your energy I'm taking on, because I feel like you're like, I don't want to take on one more thing. You're like, yeah, but you don't need to. That's the whole issue. You keep taking on too many things. And then you're wondering like why you're not making money, or why things aren't happening, or why, you know, because I feel like the situation is Pentacles. But Pentacles are an earth energy as well. So I'm feeling like ungrounded, unconnected to spirit. You may even be too connected to spirit. Like you're not getting grounded to the earth, but you know, you're like, you know, overdoing it. I notice for myself when I'm called to a lot of readings, or when I'm like searching for like answers, is usually when I need to go within. And I feel like that's what Spirit's saying to you. It's time to go within. So also the astrological sign connected to this energy is Taurus. So you could be a Taurus. You may be dealing with a Taurus. The associated elements are earth and air. Earth is the suit of pentacles, related natural element, while all 4 of the kings are associated with the wise and thoughtful element of air. So like we were saying, the earth energy, but then air. So earth energy would be Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. And then air energy, we have Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And we're in Virgo energy right now, and we're going into Libra season. So I feel like for a lot of people for this reading, this decision needs to happen. Whenever you watch this, again, it's always timeless. But I kept hearing a month. Like in the next month, like you're going to have to make some big decisions. And remember that whatever is meant for you is meant for you. So let it be. You're the one that's like stopping it from coming any sooner. Now, mind you, it's going to come when it's supposed to, but it could be a more fun, fluid experience. You know, did you ever have those things where you look back on it and you're like, man, I worried so much about it. I wish I enjoyed it more, you know? I've had special events like that where I've gotten so nervous of how it was going to be or whatever. And then, I just let my nerves get the better of me. So like drank too much. And the next day I'm like, gosh, I barely remember it. And, you know, like these kind of things where, you know, I almost feel like I'm hearing from Spirit, it's empath control. Like As empaths, a lot of us over our lifetimes, and definitely in this one, we were taught to control our emotions or control the way that we connect to our emotions. And if you were ever told, you know, you're too sensitive, or oh my gosh, or, you know, blah, 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 and you felt shame around your sensitivity, that's another reason why you're like not doing well. I'm hearing that doing something that you really love is going to open up just like a whole other world for you. And I'm hearing that I feel like some of you, not everybody, but some of you, you're going towards something that is not, it's no longer serving you, or it's no longer like part of this path. Now, it doesn't mean it's forever. And maybe that's what you need to hear, even though I feel like for some of you, like that is over, like that chapter is done, but it's hard for you to accept it. It's hard for you to understand. I know I've been going through this shadow energy. The darkness has really been coming for all of us. Like, it's no fucking joke. So just remember that when it is coming for you, that it's not because it's a punishment. It's to show you what you need to see. And also they're tests to see like how committed we really are to something. What do we really want? I've had things come to me in the last week that I have been praying for, longing for, wishing for, like for years in my life. And now that it's happening, I'm like, holy shit. Do I really want this? Is this the way I want to go? Is this the, you know, it's made me have to stop and think. And I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to do as well. You know, really look at and observe your situation, the situation that you're asking about. You know, what decision do you need to make? Well, the King of Pentacles in the upright position, it says, when the King of Pentacles makes an appearance in a reading, know that with hard work and determination, success is on its way. The King of Pentacles represents a man with dark hair and deep brown eyes. He's easygoing, responsible, and most importantly, a realistic man, an earth sign man. He is strong, steady, and mature, and enjoys the simple pleasures in life. He's a generous and supportive personality and a loving, loyal spouse. He is a protective father who honestly enjoys his children. This man is successful, practical, and content with his life. He is a skilled craftsman and one who enjoys gardening, landscaping, farming, or woodworking. He is happiest when he is working with the soil or making something with his hands. He has worked hard and has earned his comfort and success. The lesson of the King of Pentacles is that your efforts have manifested into success. Prosperity will be drawn to you. So for some of you, you know, remember that we all have divine masculine and feminine in each of us, 2237, which is also 14, which is the number 5 again. So you could be like, this could be describing you to a T, where they're like, yes, this is your reading kind of thing. Or it could be a person that's in your life that you're trying to make a decision on. But also Spirit said, just because you have someone in your life that may be all of these things, if you're not like sexually drawn to them, or if you don't like have that connection, whatever, you're going to always have a longing for something else or something different or something better. This person is still going to be in your life and be your friend or be the father of your children, or, you know what I mean? But I'm hearing like, I feel like for some of you, you're holding on to this King of Pentacles for the wrong reasons. And it's time to fess up. I just heard from Spirit. Oh, I just got the chills. So this could only be for one person. I don't know. You know what I mean? These readings, when they get looked at, even when I put them individually, they can have anywhere from 30 to 100, you know, people looking at the same message, at least right now. I'm sure my channel will grow and there'll be more, but, you know, so you have to remember that this literally might just be for one person, but you'll know if it connects, it connects. If not, it could just be you. This could be you, like the situation, maybe you're trying to make a decision, but you like want to step into your masculine, you know, however you're represented, you know, inwardly, outwardly, you know, maybe you want to be this successful, strong, practical person, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you want to learn a new skill, a craftsmanship of some kind. Maybe you're really into gardening, landscaping, and they're saying he's happiest when he's working in the soil or making something with his hands. So I feel like this might be for some of you too. Like maybe you're trying to make a decision on what to do with your career, or, you know, it's like, where are you your happiest? You know, envision this King of Pentacles and think of yourself like, you know, and also remember that this isn't about the throne or the majesty of it. You know what I'm saying? Like Spirit wants you to really like understand that it's more about the metaphor of the energy and not necessarily the image, if that makes any sense. Okay. So let's go to the second card. I just want to make sure I'm saying it right because I haven't done this reading before, that I remember. Anyway, okay, number 2 is the task. Okay, we have another reverse with the 7 of Swords. You know what's interesting is from far away, I don't have the best sight, but from far away, I was like, this looked like a really happy-go-lucky person. But then when I got closer, I kind of felt like a smarmy smile. So because it was in reverse and it's got the feather underneath it, I feel like they want it to go this way more. Okay. Also, I feel like they want you to see the feather. If you are really good with birds and feathers, please tell us which one this is. I pick up feathers all the time, like literally all the time. So I'm not 100%, but this wanted to be here with this soul. Interesting too. You know, we do have a lot of quote unquote men that watch this channel, but this is interesting because to be flanked with 2 divine masculine represented energies is very, very, very interesting to me. Okay, so 7 of Swords, the task. Let's get to that and see what Spirit has to say. 7 of Swords, the task. So in reverse, it says, allowing fear to hold you back, not seizing opportunities, and timid behavior. Interesting. The key words, new schemes. Yeah, see, that's what I was getting. I feel like, you know what? I'm going to finish reading this. There's a lot of coming through right now. And before I move forward, I don't want to say anything. I'm going to zip it. I want to kind of let this marinate for a minute. So the keywords are new schemes, new solutions, thinking outside the box, relying on your street smarts, partial victory, evasion, cunning, and foresight. And the meaning is, when the 7 of Swords card blows into a reading, it is a nudge to come up with new schemes and or tactics. It's time to be clever and creative. This card denotes a smart, resourceful person, one who avoids or evades confrontation. By doing so, he shrewdly takes the wind out of his opponent's sails. Look at things from a new perspective. Come up with a new solution to the same old problems. Think outside the box and you will experience a victory and a breakthrough. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, like, remember I was saying at the beginning, I felt like you feel stagnant or things aren't moving or whatever. Yeah, I feel like you're going towards something that used to be, or an old, you know, kind of energy. I'll use one of our tribe members, perfect example. They kept trying to go back to this field that they worked in. They were trying, right? They were doing the spiritual walk. They were, trying to walk the walk and all that, good stuff and talk the talk. But at the same time, they're like, okay, but I have to feed my family and this is getting serious and I don't know what else I can do. And long story short, they were drawn to this place that wasn't that far from their house actually. And long story short, they ended up getting a part-time job there in a field that is actually more close to their heart and what they're like dealing with right now. And they got the job. And it's only a few hours a day, like 5 days a week, but it's right around the corner from their house. And it's just, they love it. They're like, I just feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And interestingly enough, right, like that wasn't their field, but they got a job. So obviously, you know what I mean? Like, that's when you really know that you're in the flow of spirit, when you stop fighting it and do what you love. Just keep doing what you love, keep doing what feels good to you, and you're going to find your way. But I like this part about stepping outside of yourself and the perspective. Carl Jung has a lot of, if you're not familiar with Carl Jung, if they call me to, I'll put a link below, but always check out the description box. There's always stuff in there. But they said something about the power of an empath, but over the years, we've been told that empaths are weak, when it's the contrary. We're the secret weapon of the ascension right now. Our love, our compassion for others, how we can feel what others are feeling. Some of us can feel it on a physical level too, right? Like it affects our mind, body, and soul. That's really serious. Like that's a really big thing. Ooh, I just got a really weird pain in my stomach. I also feel like for some of you, maybe there's something going on with your diet that needs to change. I went to an allergist one time, and before we did the test, he had me write down all my favorite foods. And when it was done, I said, so what am I allergic to? And he hands me the thing, and I go, what? I go, these are all my favorite foods. He goes, I know, it's an anomaly. We don't understand it. And I was like, what? It's like, he seriously told me that it's like, seriously, he's like, you can read it in like journals, like medical, like, you know, people have done reports on it and stuff. He's like, it's like, we want what we can't have. And why is that? It's like we're trying to change our very physical makeup. You know, I finally just stopped. I'm like, all right, even though I loved a nice medium rare steak with a glass of, you know, good red wine, a spicy red, that was like one of my favorite things on like the end of my work week. My favorite thing was to like go and get like a decadent piece of meat, a really healthy, you know, even when I was going like into my spiritual, but even the smell of meat started to just be rancid to me, like everything. And I realized I'm like, I'm a vegan because of, as I'm such a powerful empath, that I can feel everything that went through an animal. The plants, I don't feel it the same way, you know, and I pray over all my food anyway, but still, I started to realize this connection. And I feel like there might be something with you guys too, that, you know, start taking, maybe make a food journal and see, like, if you're having a stomach ache, it's going to be tough, but give yourself a week at least. If you don't want to go see an allergist, give yourself a week to eat food separately. I know it might sound crazy, but it could be the combo 3137. It could be, that's number 5 again, change and transformation. It could be the combo of things you're eating. Like, I can eat certain foods, but if I eat them together, I get so sick. My body can't digest them at the same time. Everybody's bodies are different. But this has been coming up a lot for the tribe. And so I would be remiss if I didn't bring it up. Okay. So this is the task. The task is finding new solutions, thinking outside the box, relying on your street smarts, and being cunning, but not like, you know, going for the victory, but doing it with integrity. I'm hearing for some of you, it might not be happening, because remember I was saying I felt this smarminess. So either you're not doing it with integrity, or there's people around you that don't have integrity that maybe you think that they do, because I keep seeing schemes and tactics and smart, resourceful person, one who evades confrontation, but like somebody who's like, oh, it's all cool, baby. It's cool, baby. Oh, no, we're fine. No, I'm not cheating on you. All is well. All is well, you know? And then like a friend sends you a picture and you're like, dude, look at your dude canoodling with some chick. And there's like no way it's not romantic, or like, there's no way they haven't had sex. Like, you can just tell from the picture. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of things, like not avoiding like what's in front of your face. Okay. So now our last card, which is the decision. So here it is. This is this decision that you need to make moving forward, okay? Another one in reverse. The Page of Cups. But look at that sweet face. I feel like the decision is definitely tied to your inner child. And I also would be remiss if I didn't point out that there is a young, I mean, they could be androgynous though. You know what I mean? Like, they could be androgynous. So you can take this for whatever you want to see it, you know, but I definitely felt like a little girl. So if this could be, at least for one of you, like there could be 2 divine masculines that you're trying to decide between. And you're like, you know, should I be with this one? Should I be with that one? Oh man, this is way too close to my own personal story. But at the same time, you know, or is it neither? Is it time for you to just focus on yourself? And if you are a male identified, this is your divine feminine that's coming forward, that wants you to work from your heart, from your soul, because the reason why we have the yin and yang energy of divine feminine and divine masculine is we need the strength and the grounding, you know, energy of the yang, energy of the male, but we also need the feminine energy of love and empathy, right? Like, I mean, think about it. When you're like going through something, most of the time it's like, you know, you go to your friend who's a little more empathetic or who's more open and loving, you know. So I feel like there's something about that. So let's see what the Page of Cups has to say about this decision. Page of Cups. In reverse, it says, ignoring your intuition and psychic gifts, refusing to commit to your magical studies. Wow, 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 wow. The associated elements are water and earth. Water is the suit of cups, related natural element, while all 4 pages are associated with the practical element of earth. So they're really trying to get you to get grounded too. And the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So you could be dealing with them. Interesting that we didn't get a lot of fire in this reading. So, you know, however this resonates for you. So the keywords are imagination, a student beginning magical or psychic studies, discovering new psychic or magical talents, embracing hope, and rediscovering the joy of your craft. The message of the Page of Cups is to explore your magical and psychic talents. Don't forget that magic is a joyous thing. So I'm hearing, and for some of you that have like too much connected, like this was me this morning, I'm like, I can't remember the last time I was this like, not boy crazy, but we're like so obsessed with thinking about like, is this the right path with them? Is this the right, you know, how about this? How about that? Because my talk about flim flam, like I'm getting a sign here, then I'm getting a sign there. But again, I feel like we're being tested. They're like, well, instead of asking myself all these questions, I need to ask myself, you know, like, what am I doing for me? Like they're doing them, they're taking care of them. I don't even know if I'm even in their fucking orbit right now while they're working on their stuff, right? And I thought, is that just me? Is it a woman thing? You know what I mean? And I know that I don't want to like say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like the divine feminine, that's like, right? I'm based in love. I'm based in concern. I want to make sure that like everybody's okay. I hear myself, right? The controlling. So I'm sure there's so many aspects. If I watch this back, sometimes I watch my own readings back like later. One came to my orbit recently that was from like almost 4 years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, it like nailed it and like hit home for me. So, you know, they really are timeless. Sometimes the astrological timelines don't line up, but I feel like for some of you in this 3723, when I look down, I'm definitely getting this vibe from spirit that it's time to release and let go in this moon. Also, the moon is ruled by water, right? The water and the moon are connected. The water is ruled by the moon, right? They're like the yin and yang. They're right. That's why the tides are in and out. They go with the flow of the moon. So they're drawn to the moon. And I'm hearing like, just concern yourself right now in this moon cycle of releasing and letting go the past and things that no longer serve your present or your future. And if you can, do your best not to think about tomorrow, not to think about next week. I understand if somebody sends you an invitation and it's like a month from now, you can, you know, say yes or whatever. And then if it comes closer, tell them you can't make it or, you know, whatever. But I'm hearing like for some of you, my eyes went to my calendar. I feel like you're just too regimented. And for some of you, it's like you're not regimented enough. So this really is going to apply to each one of you individually. As it does. And it says, when the Page of Cups splashes into a reading, you're being put on notice that new intuitive talents are about to emerge. Take this time to explore your gifts, immerse yourself in the exploration of your intuition, empathy, clairvoyance, and other psychic talents. This court card may symbolize a student just beginning their studies in the magical arts. Embrace the fun of discovery and put some joy back into your craft. As with all court cards, the page can represent an actual person. Typically, this will be a youth with blonde or brown hair and blue, light hazel, or green eyes. And this could be you talking about you, but it could be your inner child, right? So, and maybe there's some things that you wanted to explore when you were around this age, right? That spirit's like, well, explore them now. Maybe you wanted to live by the sea. That's been coming up a lot for our tribe lately. Maybe you're somebody who really wants to, oh, I got the chills. Then move by the sea. Don't let these flanked energies, because that's what I'm hearing, like, don't let these flanked energies like drag you down or like, you know what I mean? Just go towards what you love and the rest of it is going to fall into place. All right, Spirit, do we have any more messages for reading 1 at this time before we close the portal? Nope, that's it, you guys. All right, I love you so much. I hope this helped you in any way to make whatever decision it is that you feel you need to be making at this time. Until next time, all of my information is in the description box, and I love you so much. We'll see you at the next reading, okay? Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, reading 2. I feel like the number 7 may be significant to you guys. If you are drawn to reading 1, I mean, if you're not, don't make it your story. But if you are, you may want to go watch it after this. But also, I'm hearing this Neil Diamond song, and it keeps playing over and over. When I looked up, it was 44. So you may be seeing triple fours. It's also the number 12. You may be seeing the number 12 or the number 3. These are just little tells to let you know that you're on the right track right now, watching this reading. If not, you know, again, no worries. It might just be for somebody who needed a confirmation right now. But the song, I think it's called If You Know What I Mean. And he says something like, and the radio played like a carnival tune as we laid in our bed in the other room. Something... for the sake of a dream in a penny arcade, if you know what I mean. So I don't know who that's for, but it's like really strong, and it's like playing over and over and over. So it could be a sign from a passed on loved one who loved Neil Diamond. Maybe that was their favorite song. He says something like, here's to the songs we used to sing, or something, here's to the friends we used to know, like things like that. So I'm feeling a lot of nostalgia. So maybe that could be where you need to make a big decision. So as it said in the title, this is the decision. And in real time, 4143, and then it went to 4144. A lot of angel numbers have been coming up a lot, you guys. So I'm just going to spit them out. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. You know how we do. So if you hear me yelling out numbers, it could be anything. And remember that they're stamps, right? So it could be the semicolon. You could be 41, semicolon. Maybe somebody in this that you're asking about in this situation is 44. You know what I mean? Like it's so personal. And maybe it's for some of you to open and expand your awareness more to numerology and angel numbers and awareness of them. So the decision. Now, this reading is coming out of the Complete Book of Tarot Spreads, and it's on page 42, and it's literally called Decision, but I heard from Spirit like to call it the Decision. The Pathfinder, the Waymaker, I don't know if those mean anything to you. So it's a 3-card spread, and I apologize, it's like really busy today where I live, and I live by a freeway. I'm working on it. I put an ad out. I was like, Spirit, if I'm meant to move, please, I need some peace and quiet. Anyway, I digress. So it's going to be a 3-card layout, and the first card is the situation that you're asking about that you need a decision from, and or support for the decision. And then the second card is the task that needs to be done for the decision to come to fruition, and then like the third card is about the decision. So let's shuffle some cards and see what comes through. Okay, Spirit, reading, this is reading 2. Now you know what cards we need, 1, 2, and 3. So whatever is meant to be will be. Whatever is meant to be will be. They keep saying over and over. Oh my gosh, it's like there's so many things. It's like there's a mashup in my head of like, que sera, sera, whatever will be. If you know what I mean, with Neil Diamond. There's like a mashup of that. Somebody needs to make a mashup of que sera, sera, if you know what I mean. Maybe you've been thinking about doing a new mashup. There you go. Seriously, like I'm getting such a strong vibe. You guys are really powerful. This is card 1. Wow, it like jumped out of my hand. Okay, so card 2, Spirit. Card 2. I don't know if you saw it. I saw it for a split second, but oh, card 2 goes over here. That's right. Card 3, the decision's going to be in the middle. Okay, so card 3, Spirit, card 3. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't know. I'm going to read these upright and reversed because they've been coming in kind of strong like that. So I like to do what Spirit wants me to, because this is about you and the way you're going to see things. So all the way around, I like to put the cards where they want you to see them. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's get to it. Let's just jump on in. Let's jump on in. Also, I love when I look down at the deck and it's like the same card as the cover of the book, which is the High Priestess too. So I feel like, you know, even though it's not part of your like cards or whatever, I feel like they wanted me to acknowledge that I'm dealing with the High Priestess here. So blessed High Priestess. So remember who you are. I just heard from Spirit. Remember who you are. I don't know why, but I'm getting Paris Hilton right now. Remember who you are. Maybe you've been playing a role like, you know, I watched this thing with Paris where people get really freaked out when they hear her real voice because, and even for her, like she slips back and forth so much. It's almost like having multiple personalities. And I feel like for some of you guys, like you may be going through that as well, like where you're wearing masks instead of like, you know, looking at the truth and what you need to see. It's like you're seeing like this, you know, you only show the world what you think they should see. But when they started, you know, Paris and Nicole, when they did their reality show, they were one of the first of their kind. You know, they were trendsetters and they were the first influencers, so to speak, right? And people who were famous for being famous kind of thing. Now, obviously, we know over time, like, they've both become beautiful, powerful businesswomen and they're very talented. But, you know, but that kind of became the trend. The Kardashians came in. It kind of became this like fake. And so now, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't know what to think anymore or what to believe, or, you know, that was put here on purpose. It was put here to fuck with us over decades and decades and decades for us to not believe in ourselves anymore, to not have that inner knowing. And so I'm hearing from Spirit, it's time for you to take the mask off. You know, but when they started that reality show, they wanted Paris to be dippy and whatever. So her and Nicole invented, like, it was like they were real friends. And so like they had like these little voices and little silly things that they would do. And so they just like kept going with it. Or she'd be like, loves it, you know what I mean? But she would normally say loves it, you know what I mean? Like if you when she's really like whatever, like you hear her voice is actually very deep. It's kind of funny, but she's going into like this mask, this persona of somebody else. And you know, and it's confusing because now that she has kids, she's been more in like the baby talk with her kids. And so it's like she's kind of even going through another metamorphosis as a mother and still trying to like figure out her identity. So I feel like for some of you, maybe that's a decision you need to make. Maybe you're struggling with your identity or like the way you want the world to see you, or even just the way you want to see yourself. So then the first card is just take a moment, take a breath. Close your eyes if you can, if you're in a safe space to do that. Obviously, if you're driving, don't do that. But just take in some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Release and let go of whatever is no longer serving your greatest and highest good. In the first reading, we brought in some Reiki healing energy. If you'd like to piggyback on onto that energy, all you have to say is, with grace and gratitude, I accept this Reiki healing. Thank you, Spirit. And that's it. And, you know, you're allowing them to come in and heal you from the inside out and the outside in, and to clear and balance your chakras and auric field of that which no longer serves your greatest and highest good in this moment moving forward. Okay, so let's see what your first card is. This is your situation. Oh, the Two of Cups, but it was in reverse. Two of Cups in reverse. So let's start with that. Let me ask Spirit, I want to make sure, was the Two of Cups actually in reverse? Do you want me to read the reverse meaning? Do we want to start with the reverse? Yeah, because some of these, when I'm shuffling sometimes and my eyes are closed, I may like turn the card without thinking about it. And I feel like this was one of those that I'm like, I didn't look at it, and then I looked at it and I'm like, wait, what direction was this in? So I'm going to just start with the imagery, okay? So remember that each one of you are going to have your own decision to make. You all have your own situation, your own task, you know what I mean? To make sure that the outcome of this decision is right for you. So keep that in mind, okay? It says, a man and woman stand before a beautiful, calm, and sparkling lake. They are facing each other and are smiling and happy. The woman's gown is ocean blue and has long flowing sleeves. The man's clothes are watery shades of blue and green and a nod to the ruling element of water that the Cups card represents. With their front hands, they are each holding out a silver cup and toasting each other. Their back hands are bound together at the wrists with a golden cord, symbolizing that they are hand-fasted. Where the rim of the silver cups touch, there is bright glowing light radiating out. Both the man and woman have a chaplet or wreath of flowers in their hair made of violets, white roses, white and purple pansies, and deep green ivy. The violets are sacred to the goddess Venus, and these flowers speak of a faithful lover. The white roses in the couple's chaplets, I think I'm saying that right, chaplet, symbolize new beginnings and true love. The cheerful pansies tell us that the couple shares loving thoughts, and the ivy represents the fidelity of marriage vows held sacred. The meanings are, the Two of Cups represents relationships, specifically between two people. This card symbolizes balance and equality. Here is a magical union that binds together heart, body, and soul in the best way possible. When this card sails into a reading, it symbolizes romance and engagement, or a happy marriage or romantic relationship. This card may also be a sign of an upcoming wedding or hand-fasting ceremony, depending on the cards that fall around it, such as the Four of Wands. Yeah, the Four of Wands is also like a symbol of like 1111. So if that means anything to you guys, it says the Two of Cups may also indicate a close friendship or successful and happy business partnership. I was thinking that too, you guys, that I don't feel like this is just romance. This feels like it could be exactly that. I thought the same thing. So I'm glad that they said that. It illustrates the hope of a new journey together as a couple and shows us that there are always new emotional opportunities for supportive friendship as well as a true and lasting love. The keywords are romance and engagement, hand-fasting, wedding or reconciliation, a partnership, equality, and true love. Now, if it was in the reverse, it says problems in your relationship, arguments, quarrels, separation, or divorce. Hold on one second. Okay. Where I live, it's like we get the morning like fog, and then once the sun comes in, it's like it can go from being chilly in here till I'm like, oh my gosh, it got so hot like so fast. So I apologize. Okay, so let's get back into this. So this is oh, I just heard situationship. This came up in reading 1 too. So if you were drawn to reading 1, like I said, go and check it out. We spoke of a lot of different things in reading 1. Sometimes these readings are like multiple readings in one, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, because there's more than one person watching it, but I'm saying like there's many meanings. That's why right now they want us to use our intuition. We don't have the easy answers. This, long gone are the days where we can just like, watch a reading or, just, I mean, I know what Spirit's trying to say, but basically they're saying like we need to be more in touch with what's happening right now. So I would say in this reading right now, like go by like what's happening with you right now, not in the past, not what you're hoping in the future, but like where it stands right now. Okay, so the second card is task. Oh, the Page of Swords. Swords are about communication. They also represent air signs. So you could be dealing with an air sign. Also because the air sign it looks male identified, divine masculine. I'm getting for some of you that you're dealing with someone who may on the surface, like, so either you're actually dealing, I haven't even looked at the book yet, but I'm getting like this vibe that either you're actually dealing with like a young person, like maybe the relationship is family. It doesn't necessarily have to be, romantic. The fact that they brought up the Four of Wands and like, it could be somebody that's related to you. So it could be a son, it could be a child. But what I got when I turned it over is I feel like this is the inner child. Like, I feel like whoever you're dealing with, this person in the relationship is male identified and divine masculine driven. So even if the person that you're dealing with may be a woman identified, you know, it could be that their divine masculine is the one that is like disrupting these relationships or disrupting this like perfect partnership because they're scared, because they don't feel good about themselves. I kind of feel like they're trapped, you know. I mean, if you look at him, he's a young boy. He's a young boy that's not quite a man. And I feel like right now with the patriarchy crumbling around us, you know, this, I feel like this is kind of like a blanket for all of us, that we have to remember that in any partnership, romantic, personal, friendship, work, whatever it is, that right now a lot of people are, you know, working through that divine masculine of control, of you know, but the irony is they're not in control, and they didn't have control. And that's what I feel like. I feel like this particular person, like, they didn't have control, and so they had to fight for everything they had, and they keep going back to this old pattern or this old like version of themselves because that's all they know. It was something that was learned when they were very young. And I don't feel like it really has anything to do with you. And I know that's fucking hard to hear because, you know, people will be like, well, what can I, it's like, you can't do anything, you know? I mean, so here's the task. Let's go to the actual, let's go to the book. I love this book so much. I love Ellen Dugan. She's one of my favorite witches of all time. I spoke about her earlier. Oh wait, no, it's not the Ace of Swords. What is that? It's the Page of Swords. Also remember that pages are like the novice. You know what I mean? Like they're not quite there yet. They're still studying. They're still working. So it could be somebody that it's gonna be fine. You know, I mean, look at, they've got that eagle around their neck. They're gonna work it out. They've got spirit leading them, but there's still a lot of things that they have to work through. So this, the keywords are vigilance, caution, standing on guard for trouble or conflict, putting an end to petty conflicts with a few well-chosen words, an intense and intelligent young man. It says the message of the Page of Swords is that of caution, cleverness, and tact are needed at this time. Try for tact before you take a swipe at your opponent. That's really powerful. The associated elements are air and earth. Air is the suit of swords related natural element, while all four of the pages are associated with the practical element of earth. So you could be dealing with an air or an earth sign, or you are one of them as well. In reverse, it says tension, rash actions, using physical force when it is unnecessary. Oh, I hope that's not happening with any of you. So it says when this card lands in a reading, it means that you need to think quickly and act decisively, but keep your temper in check. You need to remain vigilant and to be on guard for trouble or conflict, but you should use your wit and not brute force. You do have the ability to quickly put an end to nonsense and petty arguments with either quick actions or a few well-chosen words. This card may physically represent an intense, impulsive, and active young person with brown hair and green or hazel eyes. The hawk, oh, it's a hawk, not an eagle. I didn't have my glasses on. The hawk symbolizes messages, and when it appears in your life, it is always a sign from deity to pay attention to what is going on around you. That's powerful. It says, a tall, thin teenage boy stands on a grass plain. A strong breeze is blowing his metal hawk pendant that he wears as a talisman around his neck. In both hands, the Page of Swords easily holds a sword aloft. He is checking himself for the moment and is intensely reviewing the situation. Will he strike out and defend himself, or will he put the sword down? He can go either way, as he appears to be putting you on notice and psyching himself up for a possible battle all at the same time. His shirt is a soft, cloudy gray color with yellow trim and pale blue hawks embroidered on the sleeves. This traditional heraldry symbolizes that he is impatient and will not stop until his goals are reached. Behind him are blue skies and white, fluffy, fair weather clouds. Off in the far distance at the horizon, mountains can be seen. In this court card, the element of air is paired with the intensity and quick, moody reactions of a young man. It is anybody's guess as to whether he will rein in his temper and react appropriately. So this could even be you. I just got from Spirit, like, this could be you. And maybe this divine, like this Two of Cups union is about coming together with yourself. You know, this, I just got the chills. There's at least one of you that this resonated with, like right when I said it, right? Like, you know, and maybe that's the thing, is that you're trying to make decisions that are outward, or you're concerned about how they're going to affect other people. And Spirit's like, this is about you. This is about your journey, no matter what, you know. So I feel like I'm excited to see what your decision is going to be, or the advice around the decision. It's your choice always, right? It's free will. But we see the situation here. We see, you know, the task. But I want to jump in now and see what the decision is. Wow, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. You guys, you know, we say this all the time that like our lives mirror each other, but like there was so much for me in reading one. And I know sometimes you guys are like, I watch all of them. And I'm like, well, sometimes I feel like you're meant to just watch one, or, you know, they're like, I feel like I always get something from them though. You know, I just use my intuition. And it's the same for me. Like sometimes when I'm doing these readings, it's really difficult because I feel like all of us collectively as light workers are all at a precipice right now where we have to make a big decision. We have to make decisions. Things that are not easy, things that are, you know what I mean? And, you know, in real time, we're just a few days away from the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. And, you know, I feel like they want us to like give, you know, write down all the things that we want to release and let go of. And, you know, in a safe space, obviously, you know, burn it and give it to the full moon energy and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this to you, Spirit. I'm going to release and let this go. I need to let this go. I need to let this go. You know what I mean? Because this whole reading, I felt like it was a personal reading for me in some ways, but in other ways I can feel that it's not my reading. And that's where I think they want us to start to understand things, you know? So, especially because I'm triple Sag and, my third deacon is in Leo, so I have a lot of fire energy, and wands represent fire. And I feel like, you know, cups represent water signs. So I feel like we have air, water, and fire represented here. But the one missing element is earth. We're missing that grounding element. And so for a lot of us, we're being attacked by the shadow because they're like, make a fucking decision. Quit flim-flamming. That came up in reading one, right? Like, stop going back and forth. You need to make a decision and go with it. Make a decision and go with it. You know, there's always, you're never going to take the wrong path, because you're either going to, you know, wind up where you're meant to be, or you're going to learn a lesson. Spirit's just asking you, how many times do you want to learn the same lesson? And when are you going to just start putting yourself first? And that's the message I got for myself, is that, you know, my partner's on their path, I'm on my path, and, you know, we can only do so much, right? And then we have to release and let it go. And, you know, it's that old saying, if you love something, set it free. And if it comes back to you, then it was always meant to be with you. And if it's not, then, you know, it's time for it to go. Sometimes people stay in our lives for 5 minutes, you know, standing in line at the grocery store. We feel like we made a lifelong friend, right? But it's just somebody from another life that's coming through, a reminder to, you know, give us whatever pearls we need at the moment. Or sometimes people stay in our lives for the whole length of it. It's different for everybody. So I feel like Spirit wants you to start looking at yourself in the realm of the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands, she is the biatch. She is the beauty. It says, when the Queen of Wands appears in a reading, brace yourself. This is where the fun begins. The Queen of Wands is all about energy, enthusiasm, passion. This card often symbolizes a fair woman with pale eyes who loves her home, family, and pets. She's sassy, fun, warm, affectionate, and mischievous. She's the ultimate multitasker and is often involved in several groups or committees. She's intense and passionate, but with a good sense of humor. It takes a lot for this woman to lose her temper, but once she does, it's an awesome force of nature. This card denotes a fire sign sign woman, a talented witch, and a natural born leader. The Queen of Wands makes a skilled coven, high priestess, or energetic magical community leader. Remember at the beginning of this, we pulled the high priestess for you. The message from the Queen of Wands is this: home, family, magic, and career. You can have it all. Just allow your passion for life and your creative and spiritual energy to fill you up and lead the way. The key words are a fire sign woman, a woman who's generous with her affections and successful with her family, home, and career, a talented witch and natural leader of a magical group, the ultimate multitasker, popular, outgoing, fun-loving, charming, cheerful, and classy. The associated elements are fire and water. Fire is the suit of wands related natural element, while all four of the queens are associated with the emotional element of water. The astrological sign associated with this card is Aries, and in reverse, it could be stubbornness, anger, a manipulative woman, promises made but not kept, an individual who loves to create conflict. So, right? So when we're in light, we're like this really vibrant character, right? Like we don't even need to, like this is about making decisions. I feel like you don't even need to make a decision. It's like when you've made your decision, your mind's already made up. The flim-flamming is that you know that something has to change, or something, you know, something in there is not where it needs to be. You know what I mean? But you're going to get there and you're going to figure it out. And right now, I kind of feel like the focus is, let me hear it. Let me make sure. Spirit, did you say the focus is their focus and decision needs to be based on their life and their path and their decision? Okay. Because I feel like some of you, I know myself, I do this too, right? We make decisions based on other people because we're like, well, you know, like I live with this person, or I'm in a relationship with this person, or, you know, I'm taking care of a family member or a friend, like, you know, but sometimes it's about the bigger picture is what I'm hearing from Spirit. It's about the bigger picture. I didn't feel this with one, but I was wondering if Spirit wanted me to pull. I almost felt like, oh, maybe it was the Priestess card. I'm like, I feel like we're missing a card. Also, I'm hearing once you make that decision, the people are going to show up. This is the Community card. The people are going to show up. The Three of Cups. And, you know, when you think of the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords and how different they are, it's like, that's what Spirit's saying. Do you want to, like, keep going towards the heartache and, you know, whatever, trying to make a situation change or a person change or whatever? Or do you want to just love them for who and what they are and where they are on their journey, and just step aside and focus on you? Because once you do, the Wheel of Fortune, baby. Also, I wanted to go like this, but I felt like, you know, obviously spring would be our Southern Hemisphere family and fall would be our Northern Hemisphere family. But I'm feeling like it's definitely for this pile. There might be a few of you for that it's going to happen in spring, no matter which hemisphere. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be this fall, which would be spring for some of you. So it's all in the way you look at it. Oh my gosh, this one just came out. And, but this makes me think of like Halloween. Okay. So it's not even about, I mean, maybe there is some inner thing in there for you, for the Two of Swords or Ten of Swords. What is that? I can't see. But I'm just feeling like this very Halloween energy. And that's it. Okay, you guys. All right, those are your messages. Spirit's like, okay, and that's it. The camera just moved by itself. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information is in the description box, and I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, reading 3, Bajinga. I just felt like a Sheldon Cooper moment. So I don't know who that's for, but like right out the gate, I'm getting this really like intense energy. Okay, so let's talk. Let's see what's coming through, because each of these readings so far, I've only done 2, but they've been pretty profound. So let's get to it. This, as you saw in the title, is the decision. And it's going to be different for all of you. So we're going to be pulling 3 cards. I'm getting this from the Complete Book of Tarot Spreads on page 42. And we'll be pulling 3 cards to help you come to whatever decision it is. So take a minute, get grounded. Take in some deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. whatever feels good. I'm hearing dragon breath if you like that. It's about breathing in the clear energy, the clarity, the white light, healing, love energy from spirit, and expelling all that which no longer serves your greatest and highest good at this moment, at this time. So close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Think about the situation that you want to ask about. I was about to shuffle, but my hand is really drawn to this card, so I'm going to put this down for 1. Okay, Spirit, do we have any for 1? Okay, 2. This is for 2. I'm pulling 3 cards. I'm going to leave it there like that for a second. And Spirit, what is our decision? What is the 3rd? Okay. Wow, you guys are really powerful. Okay. So we have 3 cards. The situation is card number 1. The task is card number 2. And the decision is number 3. However, they have me, 3 is in the middle. Okay. So 2 is actually here. And 3 is here. I don't know how they want me to do it. I feel like they want it back here. And like, you know, each reading I set them up. I do the altars a little bit different to go with your story. So let's see. Okay, there we go. Wow, so witchy. I'm gonna take a picture of that. So powerful, so powerful, so powerful. Okay, so do you know what you want to ask about? Have you thought about it? Now, if you don't know, but you were drawn to this, sometimes you don't know. When I do readings for people, I always say, you know, write down all the questions you want to ask Spirit. And then at the beginning, I'll say, do you want the questions first, or do you want to hear what Spirit has to say first? 9 out of 10, they want to hear what Spirit has to say first. Sometimes people are like, no, I'm specific. Like, I really want these questions. That's fine. Whatever works for you. When I looked down, I saw 111. It didn't matter what was after it. So I saw 111. Maybe that's an angel number that you're drawn to. It comes out to the number 3. We spoke of 1111 reading 2 if you were drawn to it. But if not, don't make it your story. They're not always the same, right? They're not the same. If they were, then they'd be the same. There's an extra 1 on the 1111. So, but I feel like that might be for somebody. Okay, so this is really intense right now, you guys. You know what's interesting is the other readings, like I felt different things, but yours is more like okay, let's just, okay, I just want to, it's like I feel like you're the kind of person that's like rip the Band-Aid off kind of person. Like, let's just fucking get to it. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's like, I had a friend like that. Like, I'd be like, okay, so, well, and they're like, just tell me what happened. And I'm like, throat chakra. But Spirit's saying, don't let someone rush you. If you have somebody in your life that's like that, before I even turn over the cards, I just got that. Let's put it this way. That person's not in my life anymore. I miss them so much. I miss them so much. But they're not in my life anymore because everything always had to be on their terms. They were so controlling, and they didn't even realize how controlling they were. And when I would say things to them, they didn't look at it as being controlling. They looked at it as being responsible. And I think that can sometimes be, that's where the fakery and the fuckery comes in, you know? So, meaning like of the old world, or like these programming of like what's real, what's not real. We're in a really defining time of, you know, this is a time to make a decision. Shit or get off the pot. Are you moving fully into the 5th dimensional energy, or are you staying back in the 3rd dimensional energy? If you're not ready to come out of it, you're not ready to come out of it. But if you're feeling like lost and whatever and confused, or like, that's because you're straddling all these different worlds, and it's time for you to make a decision. So the first card is your situation. So this is your situation. Oh, the 3 of Cups, which is about community. Now let me make sure, because when I was shuffling, a lot was coming through. Spirit, is that, are these the correct cards for the 1, 2, and 3 for reading, for this reading? Hold on. Something's coming through. Is this the correct card for the one situation for reading 3? Is this the correct card? Are readings 2 and 3 the correct cards for them as well? Okay. Well, because at the end of reading 2, this card came out. But I saw it in a completely different way than I see it right now. So let's read what it says, okay? The 3 of Cups. So this is your situation. Now remember, it's going to be different for all of you guys. So we're going to do our best to answer your questions, you know, accordingly. So keep your mind open. And sometimes the first card might not make sense, but maybe the second and the third do, okay? So it says, when this card flows into a reading, it is a reminder of the bonds of magic and friendship. It is an illustration of the power of 3. Your magic is manifesting at this time, whether you have cast your spells as a solitary or with your beloved friends and members of your coven. Magic is all around and it is working. Expect growth, progress. Okay, literally progress is not even on here. Literally, it does not even say progress in the book. It says expect growth, success, and creativity. But I saw progress, so that's for somebody. Languaging makes a difference. Sometimes people, a certain word will like, you know, they'll get the, you know, like dog moment where it's like, what did you say? Bone, right? So I feel like that's for somebody. Your goals are coming to fruition. Yay, reading 3. This card represents a magical friendship that brings delight and enchantment into your life. It may also indicate spiritual or psychic growth, gaining a new degree in your coven, or advancing in your course of magical studies. The keywords are a happy occasion, a gathering of friends, family, or coven members to celebrate, the power of 3, and the magic of manifestation, observing the Sabbaths, sharing experiences, magical advancement, psychic growth, the bonds of a healthy magical friendship, growth, success, and creativity. I mean, this is like, so whatever your situation is, I'm interested to know what the other cards are because, you know, so here, I like to read both because even though it was upright, I like to read the reverse because there could be some, you know, seeds or pearls in there. So the reverse is self-centeredness, strife within the coven. Your magic has come up against roadblocks. So maybe it could be your situation is in the reverse, but like they're telling you like that you have everything you need. Like everything is good. The self-centeredness is the ego trying to control it. The control has been through this whole thing. And no matter when you watch this, they're timeless, but in real time, this is before the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. And it's also a 13 day. So 13 is the number of the divine feminine, the witches, and that's why they probably had me, you know, do the witches tarot today for this. But I told you guys, I felt like we were going to get a few readings. I just posted another pick a reading. I'll put a link in the description box. Always look in the description box. There's always pearls in there, and ways to contact me to work with me or donate to the work I do. All that stuff is in there. So this is feeling very cosmic right now. When I looked up, I saw 1757, and then I went to 118. So those could be numbers. It could be a lot of things. We are in the 18 is a 9. We're in a 9 year. So I'm hearing a coven of 3 women are grouped together. This is on the card and facing each other. Each woman holds up a silver cup as if they are celebrating and toasting their group's success. To further reinforce the element of water and its magic, we see a flowing waterfall and stream in the background. I just saw a stream of success, I heard from Spirit. The women are wearing flowing, colorful gowns with mystical symbols on them, and their magical silver jewelry sparkles in the sunlight as they appear to be quietly celebrating a Sabbath, perhaps midsummer in the garden. The trinity of women are surrounded by many different kinds of magical flowers. Each of the flowers in this card are associated with the element of water. The tall, rosy purple foxgloves represent fairy magic and protection. The irises whisper of magical messages and the communication that flows between the coven members. The pansies, also known as heart's ease, show that they all think kindly of each other, while the violets are blessings from the goddess and the fairies. Finally, the pink roses announce a real and lasting friendship. This card illustrates the power of 3. There are 3 trinities in the card: the 3 women, the 3 cups, and the and the 3 tall spires of the magical foxglove plant. And this is reading 3. I just realized as I was reading that, because I was like, sometimes when you hear me flubbing, it's like because I'm getting downloads to it. I'm like talking to them and talking to you at the same time. Wow, you guys, this is interesting. We got to get to the task. Okay, let's go. Number 2. I'm like, we got to get to it. Oh, the Empress. Oh, okay. That is so powerful, you guys. And the number 3, the Empress, come on. So there's something going on, and why this wanted to be 3. And also maybe there were some messages for thee in reading 2. And that's why they had me pull out this card at the end, because it had a different meaning. That's so interesting. Like, that's so interesting right now. Speaking of coven, I've been feeling the same thing. I am, you guys, I feel like you are inspiring me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you today, because I'm feeling so inspired by your power. I'm feeling so inspired by your gifts. So let's get to number 2. That is just yeah. Okay. So the task. So this is what we need to do to help the decision along. The Empress is seated on a cushioned golden throne surrounded by nature. Her throne is embellished with patterns of 5-petal roses and wheat. The 5-petaled flower creates a natural pentagram, and the flowers and sheaths of white link her back to the ancient mother goddess Demeter and Isis, the goddess of love. The Empress is pregnant in this card, indicating her fertility. She is the great mother goddess, and the 12 stars that form a halo around her head represent the signs of the zodiac. She holds in her hand a scepter, denoting her power over all the natural world. The beautiful Empress wears a rich green gown, another link to the powers of life, growth, and nature. The 9 pearls around the the Empress throat symbolize the, and I was getting the throat chakra earlier. Some of you are not speaking your truth, or you're not like this is really, I feel like for some of you this is really hard to hear. Okay, so just keep going. You got this. We got you. We love you. The 9 pearls around the Empress throat symbolize the 9 classic planets, and pearls are a symbol for basic organic creativity. A heart-shaped copper shield with a stylized Venus symbol rests to the side of their throne. This card has the astrological association of the planet Venus, and copper is the metal associated with that planet. The Empress shield reminds us to protect and cherish the love in our lives. The lush forests, green grass, and the river that cascades down the slope are more depictions of sacred feminine symbolism. Plus, also, we were just talking about the waterfall behind the 3 beautiful goddess witches over here. That's so powerful. So I'm hearing tears too. Like, there's going to be a lot. I feel like a lot of you are going to be releasing so much over this moon. And whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But yeah, this is, I love you so much. Just know how loved you are. And the more you cry and release that, you're just going to bring more joy and light back into your life. It's okay. It's okay to release it. You know, we have some, that's why there's so many of us on the planet, some that are holding light when we can, and others when we're in shadow and we're crying and working through things, the other ones are holding the light for us. Then we take turns, right? So just remember that it's not weakness. The Empress shield reminds us to protect and cherish the love in our lives. The lush forest, the green grass, the connection to earth, and the river that cascades down the slope are more depictions of sacred feminine symbolism. The background sky with the heavy gray clouds holds the promise of rain and life coming to the land. The wildflowers and wheat growing in the foreground of the scene correspond to the abundance of the harvest, and they represent prosperity and resources. Finally, the rabbit that sits contently at the Empress' feet is another nod to the energy and awesome powers of fertility, creation, and nature. It's also on page 23, which is about 5. It's 5, and it's change and transformation. But we need the duality before we get to 3, right? Like, I'm hearing like to focus like on ourselves. That's also why I feel like for some of you, like, you're not there yet. You're not quite ready for this yet. And that's okay. When you're ready, you'll know. Like, no pressure. There's no pressure on this. Okay. The keywords are the mother aspects of the goddess, bringing new ideas into existence: feminine power, love, sexuality, motherhood, fertility, birth, creativity, hearth and home, protecting love in your life, full moon magic, the power of nature. And the deities associated with this are Aphrodite, Venus, Demeter, Gaia, Isis, Inanna, Mother Nature, the Mother Goddess, and Selene. The astrological association is Venus. When we are in reversed, it says domestic problems, infertility, problems with parental or romantic relationships. So for some of you, the task may be hidden in this reverse meaning, right? Like dealing with something domestically, like what, you know, are you happy when you wake up in the morning and you look around? Like, what do you just want to do a sweep? Like I'm feeling like you guys are inspiring me to like do a sweep through my house and like make some changes. And you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm feeling. The meaning is, this is the motherhood, fertility, and power of nature card. When this card appears in a reading, it's a message from the Mother Goddess to respect the force and power of nature and the body's ability to reproduce. If the Empress card appears in a reading along with the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Cups, then it symbolizes pregnancy or that conception may be likely at this time. This card can also indicate an opportunity to bring new creative ideas into the world. Protect and cherish the loving relationships in your life. Focus on your family and your home and enjoy the energy and excitement your children bring into your life. Birth your new ideas. Embrace creativity and your own sexuality and work joyously and respectfully with the powers of nature. Ah, this has been coming up so much for you guys. I mean, as witches, as earth, you know, angels, like we are connected as above, so below. Like we need to be just as like clung into like the earth energy as we are into the outer realms. So our last card is the Decision. Wow. Okay. So, oh my gosh, shut it. I couldn't fucking write it if I tried. Do you know how many times I've shuffled this deck and how long I've had this? I couldn't do it if I tried. I mean, the Three of Cups, the Empress, which is the 3, and the 3 of Pentacles. Come on, reading 3. The power of 3. So shall it be. Oh my gosh. So here is your decision. Interesting though. Look at when you're like, before I even open the book, I feel like this is, I mean, I know that somebody would say, oh, it's like, oh, it's a man or whatever. But I feel like this I don't know why I'm yelling. I feel like this card feels very androgynous to me. So whatever you identify, gosh, my throat chakra, what's going on? Drink some water, you guys. There's something with the male identified energy within you. So whatever you identify with inwardly, outwardly, drink some water, stay hydrated. This ascension process, if you're getting headaches and body aches and all that, you need to hydrate and eat good, good strong foods, especially ones that are, you know, connected from the earth, like root vegetables. And, you know, if you can't have certain things, you know, like nightshades or whatever, then look into other things. But, you know, like potatoes, like salt of the earth kind of food. That is what I'm getting from spirit. Is this came up in one of the other readings as well, is that connection to the divine and to our avatar. So I feel like for you guys, you're going to be acknowledging this and then going into this. I see writing, but it also feels like, look at the cat there, the black kitty. So it could be, and always when there's animals in the cards, like the rabbit, the cat, you may want to work with those spirit animals at this time. It could even be a nod that it's time for you to get, you know, a companion, familiar. You know, it's different for everybody. But the stained glass is really drawing in my attention as well. So maybe you are somebody who loves to make things like that, like, you know, stained glass itself, or, you know, something with color, or I'm getting like mandalas, like the color wheel, Akashic record, just like a lot of symbology, but like with music. And thank you, Spirit. The sacred geometry. So for some of you, if you're trying to understand more about yourself, you may want to research sacred geometry. Okay, so I am just like seriously like floored by this. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's been a while since I got such a magical reading, and when they come up like this, I always feel so blessed to be a part of it. So thank you, for real. Because the synchronicities, I just got the chills. The synchronicities are powerful. A sorcerer's apprentice wearing an earthly green patterned shirt sits thoughtfully at an old wooden desk. Behind him, set in a stone wall, is a large, colorful, arched stained glass window featuring 3 pentacles worked into the design of the glass. The studious young man holds a quill in his hand and is patiently creating an amulet on the parchment before him. The pentagram that he is drawing is a representation of the forces used for the manifestation of his magic and is a symbol for his spiritual development. Even though the young man is still an apprentice, he is using his talents wisely and creatively. The apprentice is gaining a quiet and solid satisfaction from his work and advancing his craft. On his desk are more tools of his trade: a bottle of ink, a burning green candle, a clutch of fresh herbs, and a bubbling bottle of magical potion. An enchanted cat with emerald eyes sits comfortably by his side and watches over the young man while the golden smoke from the spell candle wafts upwards. In time, the apprentice will become a master of his craft, thanks to all of his hard work and dedication. The meaning is, when the Three of Pentacles turns up in a reading, it is a notice that success will be attained through focus and hard work. This is a positive card of progress, one that reminds you that your creative talents should be put to good use. These talents will bring you success and help to supplement your income if you wish. This is the card of self-employment, and it is an apprenticeship card, hence the card's Sorcerer's Apprentice theme. The actual apprenticeship may be a chance to learn a new career, skill, or you may have an opportunity to enter a job training program. The Three of Pentacles can also represent a magical apprenticeship. You may begin a new course of magical study or perhaps are working towards a new degree in your coven. Your hard work will be noticed and appreciated by others. Now is the time to perfect your craft. The keywords are hard work, employment, progress, success through dedication, creatively using your talents, magical apprenticeship, and achievement. Ooh, when I looked down, it was looked at the time, it was 1:31:09, and today is a 13 number. And I just feel like this is your year. You know, also my familiar, Bubba, a lot of you know, my magical black and white tuxedo Maine Coon, she died on January 31st. So I just like that was powerful to me. So I feel like Bubba is talking to you. So maybe some of you need a familiar right now. Bubba is still my familiar. She's just working with me on the other side because I'm in transition right now, working through my own stuff. So you can call on your spirit animals that have crossed over if you're not in the place to have like a familiar or an animal in your life at this time. You can still call on them to work with you, or you can just call in, you know, a Bastet or like, you know, some magical cat that you're drawn to. But also because it was the number 9 and we're in a 9 year, I feel like this is the year, like if not now, when? Like I'm hearing from spirit, like literally, if not now, when? And if you're feeling stagnant, if you are another light worker like myself and you're feeling stagnant, I'm hearing try something different, do something new. Also, I'm hearing change it up. Like yesterday I got this vibe that I'm like, as much as I love certain things, the way I put them, I'm like, you know what? I actually think I'd be happier if I move this here. So like after this, I'm excited because I'm going to move some things around, and just shifting things around in your workspace can make all the difference in the world. I've been really drawn to astrology my whole life, but every time I've like gone to study it, I get like these things like in my path, like, no, like focus on this, focus on this. So maybe if you're getting something to stop you, maybe that's as far as you're going to go with that right now. Maybe you're meant to go study something else like numerology, sacred geometry, something like that, and going away from like your traditional grimoires or spell casting or anything like that. Also remember, whatever you put out into the world always comes back to you. So and you may be like, oh yeah, I know that, whatever, but you have to remember like everything, your thoughts, you know, it's I've been feeling this, and you may be feeling this as well. Like there's something in this energy right now, in this particular eclipse energy, this shadow energy, and coming up in this full moon in Pisces. Pisces are so intuitive, and they see so far, and they see in the dream state, the real state, the universal, you know what I mean? Like their gifts go so far beyond. And I feel like for those of us who are already attuned and connected, empaths, telepathic mediums, all, you know, all the above, light workers, Reiki healers, we're just going to feel this on like a much more like intense level than most people will over this full moon. And so the shadow is going to illuminate to us. So instead of walking away from it, I'm hearing lean into it. And also I'm hearing for some of you, maybe you're meant to study with a divine masculine. Maybe you've never studied with the divine masculine, and spirit is pulling for you to do that. For others of you, it could be the opposite. Maybe you're meant to go work at like, you know, a cool little shop where it's like really divine feminine driven, and you need to bring that part back out because you've been going too much into the divine masculine. You know what I mean? It's going to be different for all of you, and your own individual story. But I definitely felt that. It says, when the Three of Pentacles turns up in a reading, it is a notice that success will be attained through focus and hard work. This is a card of positive progress, one that reminds you that your creative talents should be put to good use. These talents will bring you success and help to supplement your income if you wish. This is the card of self-employment, and it's an apprenticeship card, hence the card Sorceress Apprentice theme. I know we read this already, but they wanted you to hear this again. The actual apprenticeship may be a chance to learn a new career skill, or you may have an opportunity to enter a job training program. For some of you, I'm hearing, if there's something you really want to do, but you have nothing on your resume, maybe you can keep the job that you have to make money while be like, can I come and work here until I can prove myself? Can you show me, I've done that. I've changed careers, and I've had careers. Like, I worked in television, in production of it. I've worked in politics, and you know what I mean? I can go on and on. I've worked in restaurants, I've worked in retail, and every job that I wanted to do, if they wouldn't hire me, then I would find a way to get in through the door. Recently, one of our tribe members, they wanted to work in this one field, and they always worked in this other field, but that other field in a weird way was kind of similar to what they wanted, and so they parlayed that into it, went into the interview, got the fucking job, because they're like, everybody's going to be trained anyway. They're like, so do not let that stop you. For some of you, the decision and the situation might be that, you're not sure like how to move forward. And I'm hearing from Spirit, it's pretty crystal clear. It's time for you to, work on your goals. I mean, the reverse meaning is missed opportunities, laziness, no patience for the details, and unrewarding work. Well, you know what? Sometimes it's not rewarding work. Sometimes, it's like, do you remember Daniel's son in the original Karate Kid, where the sensei is like teaching him, he's like, I want you to wash cars, I want you to scrub the floors, but I want you to do it this way. And he would like get on him every single time. And so when he went to train, he's like, I'm done with this shit. He's like, oh, I'm fucking cleaning your cars and taking care of your property and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I haven't learned anything. You're supposed to teach me karate. And he's like, all mad and everything. And then he's like, all right. He's like, and then the sensei says to him, okay, fine. He's like, you want to learn? Let's do it. And he's like, and he goes to attack him and he says, wash the floor. And he like did the movement of wash the floor. You know what I mean? I'm getting the chills. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, clean the car. And he did, and he's like, holy shit. And he didn't realize that he was teaching his body. He was rewiring his, I'm starting to cry. I remember seeing that for the first time when I was a kid. He's rewiring his brain. And that's what I feel like, because I feel like I just got to download for myself, right? Like, we need to rewire our brains. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to change. And if you were taught one way, it's okay to learn a new one. 137:33. 1 is about new beginnings. 37 is 10. It's about endings and new beginnings. And 33, you're reading 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for certain things. You have to let go of it. Go towards your dream. And you might be uncomfortable for a while. Let me tell you from somebody who's been uncomfortable for several years. You may be uncomfortable for a while. Sometimes it's hard getting to where you need to be, especially, have you ever seen that that saying that's been going on for years on social media about like, better to turn around now and look at, what you've learned than to keep going down the same road, because you still are going to have to come back, right? It's like, I remember I used to go for long walks. I loved living in cities and going for long walks. And I remember this one time I took this really long walk. I got carried away, and then all of a sudden my feet started to hurt. I felt perfectly fine. And then I realized I was 8 miles away. I walked 8 miles from the morning until like later in the day. And I was like freaking out at the time. I barely had any money. I had barely any money to eat or pay my rent. And I remember thinking, fuck, I'm going to have to pay for the bus. And I walked as far as I could until like literally like everything hurt. And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I'm hurting my body over $2.50. Just get on the fucking bus. The bus stop literally let me off like right in front of my house. So I finally like went and waited for the bus. And it was funny because when I got there, the bus was pulling away, and I had to, and even that made me angry because I knew I was going to have to wait another 20 minutes or so or it was more because it was a Sunday. That was it. I was like, what am I going to do for 40 minutes? But you know what? I ended up resting. My body was like hurting. I stretched. I had a beautiful view, I didn't realize when I was walking and pushing myself that hard that I was actually going to have such a great view. But, you know, and it was fine. I ended up talking to some people. I met some people, you know. So just take a breather and let spirit flow through you. Let this, just embrace this shadow energy and look, you know, let the illumination of the full moon and the eclipse help you, because the eclipse is like, it's going to literally eclipse the moon. It's a full lunar eclipse. Not all of us are going to see it, you know, where we live, but you know, depending on where you live, check it out. I don't remember where exactly. I don't think it's going to be in my area, but so either way, you know, it's all going to be illuminated. You got this. Look at these cards that you pulled. Reading 3 with the threes. It's all about the threes, baby. I love you so much. I want to see if are there any more messages, Spirit? Do we have any more downloads? Any channeled messages for anybody from any crossover loved ones or anything? Any ancestor messages? Do we want to pull any more cards before we go? Nope. So if you were drawn to readings 1 or 2, go check them out. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, so this card just flew for this just, I went to put the deck down and this flew off. So the Ace of Swords, it's about new beginnings. And it's about communication. Swords are about communication. They're also about cutting through the bullshit. I heard call on Archangel Michael to work with you during this transition and this time. You're braver than you think. You're braver than you know. You are braver than you think. You are braver than you know. So I'm going to leave that there. And I don't know, I may or may not have time. So if this runs out, then just know that it was meant to like stop where it was meant to stop, and they're telling me to leave the card be, because I was going to try and I was trying to like do this and like get the shadow off, and they're like, no, the whole point is like they want you to see that light there. Okay, so sorry if that made you a little seasick. Okay, so the Ace of Swords, and I'm also hearing, because I feel like this message isn't going to be for everybody, so if you feel like you're done and you got your messages, move on. If not, I'm hearing a single silver sword hovers upright in mid-air and is the main focus of the card. Just behind the sword, a lone red-tailed hawk flies through the air. We spoke of a hawk in reading 2 as well, and it was associated with the sword, so that's really powerful. A misty mountain range can be seen off in the background. The sky is blue with a hint of rosy soft clouds, and dawn is just beginning to break. The Ace of Swords is associated with the element of air, as are mountains, windswept places, and raptors. The mountains depicted in the Ace of Swords show us that though we may face challenges, through endurance and perseverance, we can triumph. The hawk in the Ace of Swords is a messenger. He invites us to move forward and to be open to new ideas and to discover our personal power and our true purpose in life. Success is obtainable. You need to reach out for it. This card illustrates that spiritual awareness leads us beyond fantasy to a real and lasting truth. The meaning of this card is the Ace of Swords is the most potent and pure form of the masculine element of air. When the Ace of Swords flies into your life, you are being put on notice that it's time to take action. This is a card of intellect, heroism, victory, justice, achievement, new beginnings, and winning battles. Another of this card's most important lessons is that now you have the chance for a new way of thinking. Cut through the fantasy and embrace what is. The truth hurts, but sometimes it can also heal and make room for a new, improved reality. Success is attainable. Victory is near. Go grab a hold of it with both hands. The key words are success, truth, awareness, victory, determination. Take action now. A clear perception leads to spirit and a closer connection to deity, the element of air. Also, you guys, I don't know if it was in reading 1 or reading 2, but I was hearing like these, like the urgency, like my left hand is like I'm almost getting a pain from like my thumb, like through my forearm. So I don't know what that means for somebody. So some people believe that the left is that something's coming to you and the right is it's going out, and vice versa. So whatever you believe in. But I was hearing a month. So I'm getting this is the download I got over one of the readings that I didn't quite fully say, but I'm hearing to say it now, is I'm getting the vibe that like we're in the first phase of the eclipse energy. That's why we have 2 moons. I mean, think about it. We have 2 new moons in Virgo. Whenever there's a new moon in the same cycle, they call it a dark moon. So we're in a dark moon cycle in an eclipse season, you know what I mean, with so many planets and energies and retrograde. I mean, it's unbelievable and it's undeniable. We can't like shake like all the changes that are happening. And for some of us, you know, we've just been waiting and waiting, and Spirit's like, what are you waiting for? Like, there's no more waiting. Like, you know, so I feel like the first month of this is going to be like the breakdown and like the truth. Like, we need to start seeing things for the truth. So maybe if you're, you know, like I had something that I didn't know was happening, or I should say I knew it was happening, but I had to look at the truth of it. And like I investigated, found out it was true. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, and now I've been sitting with this knowledge for a week, going through like crazy town, trying to figure out like what is real, what's not real, what Spirit wants me to see, what it wants me to release. And I feel like that's an energy for all of us. It's just, I'm putting in my story. So insert your story here. Like, what is it that you need to see? Is it your own self, right? Like, is it like self-discovery, self-love? Are you like lying to yourself? Like, you know what I mean? But there's definitely some deception that we're going to be seeing. And then this full moon lunar eclipse is going to show us that. And then right when, you know, we're like, oh, you know, we're starting to come off that, we're going to be going into the partial solar eclipse, which is in the 3rd week in September. Let me get my calendar. So, and then it's the double new moon. So that's on September 21st. So in real time, we're on Thursday the 4th. So we've got a little over 2 weeks until that new moon in Virgo comes in, that dark moon. And, you know, then we're going to be dealing with that. So I feel like the first part is going to be like the emotions, because the moon is attached to our emotions, right? And then the sun is attached to our energy. And I feel like the solar eclipse is going to, you know, show us in that energy, and through that new moon cycle, that double new moon in Virgo, we're connected with Earth. That's why, like, we needed to go through these changes and transformation, but that's why it happened in this Earth sign of Virgo. And even though we'll be going into Libra season, we'll still be in the grounding energy of the Virgo moon, right? So we're gonna have 2 Earth moons as we're in the Earth energy of Virgo, but then we're gonna be going into Libra, which is air. And air can, you know, like we just said, air is the swords, right? It's about communication and speaking our truth. So I feel like this is like the time of the breakdown, you know, so to speak. And then the next new moon cycle is going to be about building ourselves back up, so that by the end of the year, we're going to see things from a whole new perspective, a whole new level. I mean, I try not to get political, but my God, look at these Epstein victims that are coming through. It's interesting, right? Like, you can't kill everybody, or you can, but then it's pretty obvious, you know what I mean? So there's just so many things that are going to unfold naturally. Everybody's karma is coming from them, are us too. So that's why right now they're like, work with Spirit, work with, you know, that's why you came here. You were born to be a light worker. You were born to be a truth slayer. That's, you know, why this card is coming up. So, all right, Spirit, do we want to have anything else with this? Oh, it says when we're in the reverse energy of this, we're in illusion, confusion, cruelty, injustice. It says, get a grip on yourself and work on finding the balance, right? With this Virgo energy. Get a grip on yourself. That's what I felt like when I was like breaking down and like flipping out. I like called one of my soul sisters and I was like, dude, like I hear myself. Like I hear how fucking crazy I am. I'm like, but I don't know what's happening right now. But I realized, and they allowed me to talk it out. And once I was done talking it out, I still have gone through a shit show of emotions over the last week, but it's been helping to illuminate like what I needed to see. And the closer I get to the full moon, the more I understand like who I am, what I'm doing, why I'm here. And I hope that this message is giving you the same, because the keywords here are about success, truth, awareness, victory, determination, taking action now, right? So this month, this is the time we take action. It's like the Ace of Swords is the most potent and pure form of the masculine element of air. So embrace that energy, embrace that energy, embrace that energy, because right now it's the rise of the divine feminine and it's the breakdown of the divine masculine. So there you go. Okay, do we have any more messages for reading 3 before we head out? Do we want to pull any more cards? Are there any more channeled messages that want to come through? All right, so we're going to leave that here, you guys. I hope this message helped you in any way. Bear down, my loves. We are getting through this together. We are getting through this together. On the other side of that page, this is so crazy. I just noticed this. On the other side of the page is a chapter called Tendencies and Perspectives. So Spirit's saying for some of you that are like not sure like how to change things or why things aren't changed, you might find them in the other readings, because tendencies are also a form of like patterns, tendencies, like we tend to do this, we tend to do that, like, and maybe they're saying to change the script, change your course, right? And look at it from an outsider's perspective. It's not that they're asking you not to be the empaths and the soul light workers that you are. They're saying just to remember your light and your divinity, and that all things are connected. And when you're feeling like, you know, because when we go to Libra is air energy, and air can be all over the fucking place. So remember that. And, you know, if you don't have the capacity to hold space for other people while they're going through it, don't. You know, just say, I'm not the person for you. There's going to be somebody else out there that will. And also, just a reminder, I forgot to say this on the other readings, but every Sunday so far anyway, until they tell me not to, we go live here on this channel at noon Pacific Standard Time, where we speak with crosstown loved ones. We do readings, whatever Spirit calls us to do, but we are here for you. And yeah, so that's it. All right, you guys, all my information is in the description box. There's always little pearls in there if you'd like to work with me or contribute to the work on this channel. Otherwise, take good care of yourselves and each other. Work on your throat chakra. Speak your truth. Clear the air. Burn things. Bells. Like, I'm just hearing, like, for some of you, you're going through some heavy shite. I'm going to burn some rosemary because, you know, as witches and healers and deep down believers in magic, rosemary. Use rosemary in your food. Use it for smudging. And speak your truth. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. It's not going to be easy. I just took the light off you, right? Because there's going to be times you're going to be like, I don't feel so great. I'm not feeling like myself. And they're like, that's okay. That's what we have these healing tools for. That's what we have this for. Do something for your, rearrange one of your rooms in your house, rearrange, or set up a space in your house that's just, if you don't have a space, set up a space for doing spirit work. Not just an altar. Maybe it's a whole desk. Maybe it's time for you to start like really studying and working on this, you know, no matter what it is, and meditate on it. Meditate, meditate, meditate. We are in self-care September energy. So meditation is key this month, going inward as we're, you know, in the Northern Hemisphere, we're going into, you know, that fall and then winter energy. So take this time. And even in the Southern Hemisphere family, same thing. You're not completely out of winter yet, right? Like you're still going to be going into that spring energy. So take the time and the energy and the connection with Spirit to do that. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Spirit loves you. Blessed be. Oh, see you next time.